So wait, so as a chef,
Mhm.
I'm curious, how do you become Michelin rated? Is that something that you have to test, or somebody comes and observes you to give that certification? How does that work?
So it's part of the Michelin Guide. It started out as the Michelin Guide,
Sure.
which was how to travel around the country and stuff. And now it's a global thing.
Mhm.
There are secret Michelin people, like Michelin raters. Nobody knows who they are.
Oh, that makes sense.
They're not allowed to say who they are. They're not allowed to tell their family. They're not allowed to do anything like that. They make reservations.
Like secret agent.
Yeah. It's like secret shopper. Yeah. And they come in and they'll visit your restaurant not once, but twice. And it's kind of word of mouth. Like when there's a global buzz about something, they have their ear to the ground. So they hear about these new and innovative type places,
Sure.
restaurants. So they go check them out. I mean, there's only so many cities in the world that will get a rating. It's like Los Angeles, New York, DC.
I think we have a few here, actually.
Vegas. Yeah. Vegas is one, like Tokyo.
Yeah.
So it's a small number. It's not like
they're not going to Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. They're not going to go to Scranton, unless it's an exceptional thing.
Yeah.
And then they would, maybe an off thing. But it's
Sure.
very, very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
Very unlikely. So they go and they rate, and it's based on an overall thing. It's based on the food in large part.
Okay.
It's on the technique. It's on the innovation of how you change something or transform something.
Sure.
It's on the plating. It's on the plates themselves and the silverware and how the silverware is placed and the servers and if they held their arm in the right position and how long did that fork sit on the floor that they accidentally placed there. It's based on all of it, but it's extremely demanding in the kitchen because that's why people are really there is for the food.
Sure.
It's extremely. I've had days where I've worked at 6:30 in the morning until 3:30 the next morning, being yelled at from half the time and crying, and then going home, turning right around, taking a shower, and getting back in the kitchen by 6:30 again.
Wow.
It's an insane amount of dedication and love that you have to have.
Sounds
to
like
make it through. You have to really want it, like I really want to be big in porn, but you have to really want it in the Michelin system.
Well, and it sounds really grueling. And it seems like only the chefs that are genuinely passionate about it, because I'm sure going through that process probably weeds out less dedicated, maybe chefs. I mean, and not to say that it's a knock against them in any way. It's just, it's an extra level
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
It's like being a Navy SEAL.
It's not for everybody.
You have the cream of the crop of soldiers that can become Navy SEAls. Most of them fail.
Yeah. And so I excelled with food. I mean, I took a lot of yelling and, years and years of crying in the walk-in every day, thinking I wasn't good enough and why was I here? And just, but just something in me kept saying just to keep, pushing forward.
So has food been like a passion of yours for?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm Italian,
okay.
Yeah. So food is like air in an Italian's family,
Sure.
I grew up at the age of 3 cooking meatballs and sauce every Sunday morning with my grandmother in the kitchen on my little stool,
Oh, nice.
If my Uncle John was home, he got the first meatball, but really it was meant for me.
Okay.
We know.
Sure.
Yeah.
So cooking means, just a lot to you and because cooking it can be a very artful thing. I mean, there's very functional food and then there's food that there's actually a lot of inspiration to. And so did you have any specific cuisines? Obviously Italian, but was there other things that you really liked cooking in terms of the different ingredients and the flavors and all that stuff?
I love all ingredients. I shouldn't say all ingredients. I'm not a super big fan of liver, unless it's foie gras, because then that's totally different.
Sure.
But like French, Mediterranean flavors, I'm not as passionate about Japanese and Asian flavors. I can do them, with ease, but it's mostly like that European, flair is really what it's about for me.
Sure.
Or I can make you the best fried chicken you've ever had in your life too. So don't think I'm not all American.
No. Well, I'm a good, steak and potatoes kind of guy.
Yeah.
So,
like a good tomahawk and some palm stauffenois.
Yeah.
You're no, I meant steak and potatoes.
No, it's okay. You can get off, it can be fancy and then, you put it in front of me and it's just it's steak and potatoes, right?
Yeah. No, you'll love it. Yeah. It's steak and potatoes. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Because I'm, there's always that anxiety I've got when I go into a nice restaurant and I can't understand the menu and I'm just looking at the menu okay.
You just have to take someone like me with you,
exactly.
and I'll be like, palms is potatoes.
Exactly. Yeah, you'd be able to translate the thing for you.
Absolutely.
So
Well, cooking is like a way that I show my love. It's I wish it was one of the love languages, because cooking is definitely, and like in any of my kitchens, I don't allow yelling, I don't allow cursing. You're not allowed to talk down to people. It's all with love. You have to cook with love.
I'd imagine cooking's got to be it's got to be an offshoot of one of the love languages. I mean, whether it's because eating is, like, I saw an article the other day that said that eating and sex trigger the same. Like, I think it's a dopamine or something in your brain to give you pleasure.
Yeah.
So they're doing the same thing.
Yeah. Ask George Costanza.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Where he combines both.
Yes.
So,
not successfully.
I can't do that though. I've tried combining food and sex, and it didn't go well. And
okay. I'll come over next Thursday. I'll totally show you some pudding, some well-placed whipped cream.
Because that's the thing is and unfortunately, with one not great experience, it's kind of pushed me away. But but you know what? It's okay. I'll try to keep an open mind for the future.
I'm glad.
So because have you thought about maybe trying to combine the cooking with the sex work for content, like to maybe make some like sexy cooking content?
I have sexy cooking content on my OnlyFans if anyone wants to check it out. It's up there. It's like some of the free stuff that's on there. I've made myself a human banana split. I show you how to make like rosemary and sage like biscuits and gravy, stuffed burgers, mac and cheese, chocolate souffle, chili. I mean, chili. Come on, that's a guy's language, right?
Yes, sure. But I'm trying to imagine now where chili comes in. That's okay.
It was winter time, I think, and I thought, oh, what do guys want to eat right now? Chili, because they're all, chili.
Yeah, it's hearty,
and I thought, what man isn't going to be like, yeah, chili, I can do that.
Sure.
Right? So I tried to make it non-intimidating, because I can cook like elevated. And so sometimes I have to really, and then put the titties and the get naked part of it. Oh, and peach pie. I made a peach pie.
Okay.
That was really fun. It was one of my first videos that I did on my OnlyFans, which probably sounds ridiculous right now, but I was so proud of it because I was like, peach pie. I don't know why I get an accent when I'm
well, probably because it's got maybe a Southern connotation or association with it.
So so that was fun because originally my name was OnlyPans until I realized that there was a girl smashing it on TikTok named OnlyPans. I was like, oh, that's a lawsuit. Let's just change that.